This protein technique is effective for reducing belly fat. We've been trying to lose fat for years, but we've been counting calories, dieting, or exercising. I know this because I've tried it and because the evidence actually supports it. Since this data was released some time ago and is so compelling, we have, quite plainly, been misled, or at least misled by omission. Protein is satiating for more reasons than just that. Yes, we are aware that protein reduces appetite. But what if you had to reach a certain amount, and when you did, your appetite would stop and your body would start burning fat? This isn't anything I made up. A few topics will be covered in today's video. We will start by discussing the intriguing study that found this and the possible reasons why many people were unaware of it. After that, we'll go over how to time your protein intake, how much protein is appropriate, and a little bit about the mechanics so you understand how it works. After that, we'll discuss how to maximize the benefits of this protein trick. How can you get more out of it to lose more weight and feel less frustrated? After that, we'll discuss the workout wrench. When exercises are taken into consideration, what else is added? Because doing out can literally backfire and cause you to gain weight if you don't do this correctly. And I'm not making something up or stating it merely to appease the YouTube algorithm. Lastly, we'll discuss a few more foods that you can have because your body has mechanisms in place to detect if you're getting enough of them. The first is the study that hasn't really surfaced yet. Fascinating. I'm not sure. In any case, they discovered that animals would keep eating until they consumed a specific quantity of protein. They discovered that animals would just devour carbohydrates and fats when they were not getting enough protein. And this kind of made scientists think, maybe we should look at this in humans, and they did. And as it happens, it's quite similar. They discovered that, in essence, appetite processes would take over and compel the animal or human to consume until they hit a specific threshold, or a particular number, for protein consumption. You would then need to consume a lot of rice and beans, for instance, until your brain detects that you have reached this precise gram of protein. Why haven't we been informed of this? Why have calories in and calories out been the only topics of discussion? I don't understand, but it seems like a really significant thing to ignore. In a research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, participants were given isocaloric meals with the same number of calories, with one group receiving 30% protein and the other 15%. They discovered that, despite being given the same quantity of protein, the group with the greater protein ended up eating less and shedding roughly 13 pounds more fat than the 15% group, which ended up consuming 441 more calories. It appears to be a special target. We'll discuss the amount of protein you must consume in a moment. It goes beyond society. There is a small range of protein goals that must be satisfied, according to extensive human surveys. This indicates that it is extremely similar for a large number of people. How much protein is required? Until that protein target is reached, low protein continuously and reliably increases appetite and caloric intake. Forget about it. How do we time it, then? In reality, how much do we eat? We'll go into specific use cases and items to watch out for after we get to that precise number. Thus, they discovered that almost always, the minimal goal is roughly 0.6 to 0.7 grams per pound of body weight. That isn't your suggested daily allowance, though. Up until the hypothalamus says, "We're good, I'm discussing the target." There's no need to stimulate hunger. This basically means that whether you're attempting to regulate your appetite, lose weight, or eat enough protein, you should acquire that 0.6 grams of protein per pound of body weight as early in the day as you can. Your brain's hypothalamus will shut off some of the hunger signals if you do that, because it will indicate that they have already met the protein target. For the remainder of the day, you will therefore have more control. Your hypothalamus will increase your hunger until it is satisfied if it detects a protein or amino acid deficiency. Your hunger for protein will be further stimulated by your liver's release of FGF21 when it detects a protein deficiency. But I desire a hunger for protein, you think. It implies that instead of Doritos, I'll have a burger or chicken. That's the issue, then. Realistically, the majority of modern people, more than 90% of them, will not be receptive to the precise signals of hunger or satisfaction. Your brain and liver will tell you that you need to consume more protein, but your metabolism will interpret this as simply requiring more food. What it is asking me to consume more of isn't always clear to me. In an attempt to reach this protein objective, you end up eating more and more until you become out of control and gain fat. You were unaware that number even existed. How can we make more of this? In order to get greater fat reduction, or, more realistically, less potential gain, how can we use a little bit more protein? Get that large spike in the morning first. It will be important to consume healthy fats first thing in the morning, since they will continue to support satiety through the GLP-1 pathway. In order to avoid overeating at lunch, you want to have a protein that absorbs more quickly so that you may reach your protein goal quickly. Especially if you work a desk job or are otherwise sedentary. This will be of great assistance to you. Your carbohydrate intake should go toward dinner. Making a plan in advance will help you reach your protein goals and prevent a ravenous appetite at supper. It just won't. You probably won't go overboard if you've already scheduled your carbs for the evening. You'll be able to maintain the desired level of insulin sensitivity and adhere to your plan without experiencing really high blood sugar spikes. Because apple cider vinegar changes into acetate in the body, it's another hot suggestion. In fact, acetate enters the mitochondria to serve as fuel. Because acetate can really fuel the brain's mitochondria, it will suppress your hunger and partially override this function. Sodium can be used as a salty electrolyte, which is another simple trick. Element electrolytes are what I use. Because your body functions similarly with sodium as it does with protein, salt can help overcome some of the neurons in the brain and also supersede a small amount of this stuff, giving you an appetite suppressant effect. I've included links to them below. It will increase your hunger until you obtain adequate salt. Therefore, the element electrolytes with 1000 mg of sodium, 200 mg of potassium, and 60 mg of magnesium are very effective for that. With any purchase you make using the link below, you will receive a complimentary variety pack. Thus, this is an excellent method to suppress your hunger while still enjoying a delicious meal. I therefore constantly consume them. I drink it often daily, particularly while I'm fasting or on a low-carb diet. I drink it all day long, and it greatly suppresses my hunger. The ready-to-drink varieties, cans, and sparkling are extremely delicious. Now, a significant wrench is put into the mix. Alright, this is really crucial, and I hope you're still watching this video because it's really, really vital. The majority of viewers of these videos are most likely beginning an exercise regimen. Exercise, especially more intense aerobic exercises, temporarily raises the protein goal, according to a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. Thus, they cause a brief increase in the protein target. What does that signify? It means that the hypothalamus says, I need more protein as my target, for a few hours following an exercise session. Therefore, until you achieve that brief boost in your protein target, you will continue to feel hungry. Since many people will practice cardio to reduce weight, that is really risky. However, what takes place? They don't even aware they're overeating since their appetite is out of control. They're increasing their cardio and fitness routines, and the next thing you know, their belly fat has increased. Have you previously witnessed that occur? It is a constant occurrence. This is because the target shifts following an exercise session, according to the protein leverage hypothesis. What must you accomplish in the few hours following your workout? You must increase your consumption of protein. All right. We will lose the extra appetite that comes with working out if we don't consume an additional 30 to 50 grams on top of what we should afterward. However, since it appears to be mostly driven by the amino acid leucine, a current tip is to employ necessary amino acids to somewhat override this. Therefore, we can actually overcome this during the training phase rather than the typical integrated section of our lives if we are able to consume EAAs. For example, will taking EAAs in the morning cause my brain's protein leverage system to shut down? We do with the exercises, but we don't have any proof of it. Therefore, taking essential amino acids, EAAs, after working out may assist you reach that goal once more. What other meals, though, function similarly? When I discovered all of this, I became really irritated because I believe that we have been misled in many ways, perhaps not explicitly, but practically by omission, because of the overarching theme of calories in, calories out. It's also not incorrect. Calorie intake and expenditure are acceptable. However, these things are important. Truly matter. Most likely even more so. The truth is that our bodies will continue to hunger until specific needs are satisfied. Forget about it. Completely blank. The narrative is over. This evidence has also been observed with calcium. Calcium functions similarly to protein, but it is present because it is necessary for healthy bones, metabolism, and electrical signaling. Your body will keep you hungry until you obtain adequate calcium if you're not getting enough of it. What do we do here, then? There's a good trick, though. You get a double whammy from dairy, whey protein, cottage cheese, yogurt, high-quality milk protein, sardines with bones, mackerel with bones, and high calcium and protein intake. Targeting the protein leverage target that you require with both protein and calcium has a powerful appetite-suppressing impact. This is undoubtedly a major hack and very significant. You'll double whammy on that goal if you wanted to even cook eggs and break up some of the shell. It sounds odd, but it helps to get that calcium in the morning. Additionally, think about taking a multivitamin first thing in the morning. Many people take a multivitamin in the evening. We don't yet have the proof, but what if our body simply kept eating until all of its nutritional requirements were satisfied? What if you ate some liver in the morning or took a high-quality multivitamin that provided you with a wealth of vitamins? Would it regulate your hunger and make you less likely to eat other foods? That's quite crazy. To summarize, we have undoubtedly been falling behind in this regard. Leverage from proteins is crucial. 0.6 grams of high-quality protein per pound in the morning. All right, as early in the morning as you can, possibly following your exercise. In the few hours following your activity, you should absolutely boost your protein intake by 30 to 50 grams. Apple cider vinegar is a good appetite suppressant. Salt is a hunger suppressant. High-quality, quickly absorbed protein during lunchtime. Allocating your carbs in the evening can help you avoid consuming too many before reaching your protein goal. A multivitamin technique to reduce appetite is calcium. I recently made another video about walking 10,000 steps, which is another simple method of burning fat that isn't often discussed in terms of its mechanics. I've included that video here. I suggest you look into that so you can learn some strategies to maximize your walking for fat loss.